ovathletics.com, where we're just better. I'm your host, Jeff Stevens. I'm here with Zach Clem. We're going to be doing some previews. We don't have many this week. Playoffs coming to an end. I'm just happy that we have, the 4 previews to do. We still have 4 teams left in the Valley that could be playing for state titles. These are all semifinal games. So we have semifinals in Ohio, semifinals in West Virginia to see who's going to play for those championships.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah, and, one of the goals that Reno always had is to be practicing on Thanksgiving morning.
He's going to have it.
Yeah, he's going to have it. So let's take a look at Steubenville first. They're going to play Cincinnati, Wyoming.
Okay.
They're going to play at historic Crew Stadium in Columbus.
It's a gorgeous field. I actually know this one. I drive by it on the way to visit friends that live out in Columbus all the time. Traditionally, they play soccer there. It's where the Columbus Crew plays.
Okay.
So that's the professional soccer team in the area. But they also transition it. They play some rugby. They play some American football, some lacrosse. I'm sure Tom would be excited to hear that.
Oh, definitely.
But they transition it into a football field for some playoff games.
Okay.
And it's kind of a cool venue. They also have like a permanent stage in the one end, so they do like concerts and stuff there too.
Okay.
It's a really nice venue.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, the Haslams, who own the Browns, actually bought the Columbus Crew, and they've actually dumped a bunch of money into the field as well.
All right.
That's kind of cool.
So they're going to be playing at a great venue.
Great venue. Yep.
The Steubenville fans will be in there. Roll, Red, roll. They'll be in there big time.
There's going to be charter buses leaving from Steubenville, I guarantee
The last person out of town turn the lights out because they're going to the football game. It's 7 o'clock on Saturday. The Big Red's the designated home team for the game. We know a lot about Steubenville. They run the football. They play great defense.
We've talked about them all year.
They can throw the football too. They showed it this past week. They can throw the football too. They can run it. They're going to be tough, hard-nosed coaches, players. It's just passed down from generation to generation. That's how you play Steubenville football. So what are they going against this week, Zach? This Cincinnati, Wyoming team. They've won 4 regional championships in the past 5 years. Whew. So they're used to being here.
Yeah, they're there.
Okay. The Cowboys captured a state title in 2018. They fell in the semifinals in 2019 and 2020. So they're used to this.
They're used to it. They've been there. They've been there a lot.
Yeah, they've been there a lot. C.J. Hester, running back for this Wyoming team. He leads the Cowboys. He's had at least 100 yards rushing and a touchdown in every game this year.
There's very few teams we talk about that could say something like that.
That's one player.
I know, it's crazy. There's very few teams that could say that they had 100 yards rushing and a touchdown running the ball in every game.
And he had it by himself.
That's crazy.
He's approaching 3,000 yards for the season.
And I'm pretty sure that division they played in is bananas, too. I saw a bunch of crazy stats about that division.
Yeah. He's approaching 3,000 yards for the season and 7,000 yards for his career. Okay? Their defense has allowed 5 touchdowns all year. All year.
Zach,
we've talked about teams that have won and given up 5 touchdowns in a game.
Holy crap.
They have 7 shutouts.
This is going to be like a crazy, crazy matchup. It's going to be fun to watch.
Does Reno and the Steubenville Big Red care about giving up 5 touchdowns? Do they care about the team only giving 7 shutouts, 5 touchdowns all year?
Pardon my language, hell no, he doesn't care. He's going to come in there, he's going to do what he does, and he's going to fight through. And they're going to get Steubenville in the right position. I think it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels like that unstoppable force, immovable object type game. Both of these teams do what they do exceptionally well and have that pedigree. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here.
I know we really don't have a pick-em for these games this week.
No, we don't.
But if I'm going to pick them a winner, I can't bet against Steubenville. I can't bet against Reno. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it, Zach.
5 touchdowns all year, though.
Hey, that means they give up 5 touchdowns. They're going to give 5 touchdowns up to Steubenville this
I would be
week.
interested to see what the per game breakdown of that is. I would be very interested to see what that is. Yeah, I would probably pick Steubenville just because I'm picking our Valley team there. But golly, that 5 all year. Whew.
And I told you they're going to give 5 this game to Steubenville.
I hope. I'd love to see that.
How about next, Zach? Let's move on. Fort Fry had that good game against Belair this week. They moved on. They're going to play Kirtland. Okay, next Saturday, Canfield South Range Reminder Athletic Complex at 7.
That's a mouthful.
It is. I've been to Canfield. I think I gave my Canfield story earlier this year. I did a coaching class there when I was coaching in Ohio. The run game is key to both teams.
Yep.
I told you I'd get to this one, Zach. They both run the option, and they both run it well.
So they're going to be used to seeing it.
Yeah. That's the thing. As I did a little research on Kirtland, I started noticing they run that option, the pitch, the keep, the quarterback, and I said,
oh no.
Okay. So now you're seeing it both teams see it at practice every day. Wow. Okay, this is going to be a quick game, Zach. Both teams run the option. This game might be over by 7:30 with halftime festivities and everything. They might be done
to squeeze in another homecoming game for you.
I think so. Good luck to Fort Fry. Again, if I had to pick, Kirtland's always there.
Yep.
If you follow Ohio high school football, Kirtland's always there. They have a great football program, but I can't pick against the Cadets.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
The triple option. That's a great game to watch. I love the triple option.
God, it's one of those games, in the NFL, when they first started doing the read option and a little bit of play action, you get that one quarterback that's so good at the play action.
Yeah.
Like Brady is so good at play action. You get the cameraman, and they follow the wrong direction. Whoever's filming this for NFHS this week, they're probably going to be following the wrong guy.
They better go widescreen, Zach, with a wide lens, zoom out, and just let it go, because you're not going to be able to follow the ball.
That cameraman's going to need a halftime cigarette following that ball.
Oh, definitely. So, it's a good game. Look out, maybe NFHS Network. I know I was looking for some Ohio games last week. I don't know what the deal was with their network.
I think the OHSAA has their own streaming platform, I think.
Yeah. So check it out if you can. Maybe you get it on a radio, get it somewhere. Go to the game in Canfield.
Why not?
Go check it out this weekend. But good luck to Fort Fry. Yeah. Make it to the finals. Wow, wouldn't that be great? Still go in the finals. Fort Fry in the finals.
Really cool.
Great. Moving over to West Virginia in Class Single A, Wheeling Central is going down to James Monroe. This is Friday at 4 p.m. It's a long road trip. It's a 5-hour road trip. I think Central. I'm sure they made their plans, but I think they were trying to see stay or go, charter bus, school bus. Like they were trying to make a lot of plans. James Monroe comes in undefeated. Central's at 10-1. And as I think I talked about earlier, Central has a tough time scheduling games. And so that one game that they lost, as you notice, they're a game short. If they'd played a game and won a game, they're playing at home this week. But that one less game, that one less victory.
If they would have played one other game, it would have put them in the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, and they'd have been 9-1. They might have matched up against Williamstown.
They might have been with Williamstown, which
I don't know if you want to match up with them early or on the island.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, you're going to have to play them.
I don't know where you want to play Williamstown.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would want to play Williamstown.
Yeah.
But, at least it means you're still in it.
And Central's run game's going to show up. Isn't that what it is? If you run the ball, it shows up in the playoffs. It shows up on the road.
It always does.
Run the ball on the road, it shows up. It can't. It doesn't stay at home. Their defense is going to be on display. They did give up some rushing yards last week, so that may be a thing they want to shore up this week. But they're going to run the ball really well.
Right.
I know this week.
James Monroe team's good.
They're
fun.
Central had a couple news crews there this week at their practice, and they stayed a little extra to watch some extra film on James Monroe. They're going to be ready. Central's used to the road trips. They made 2 long road trips this year.
I was going to say they made 2, maybe even 3. I think there might have been a third one there.
Yeah, they made some long road trips this year, so I think they're used to it. I think Wheeling Central is going to come out, and they might win big.
I made my sweeping declaration earlier in the year. So I'm picking, if I had to pick, I'm picking James Monroe, but that's out of purely spite.
Yeah.
Not necessarily out of thinking with my head.
So,
but I don't know. The James Monroe team's very good.
Yeah.
They've been able to pretty much do whatever they wanted to do on offense. And being 12-0 at this point is impressive. We saw what happened with Cameron when they were undefeated and what happened in the playoffs. Being able to sustain that undefeated, a lot of people want to be that one to knock you off. So it's going to see what happens. And I know it from my time in single A football.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that you want to be the team to beat the Catholic single A team.
Yeah.
Like when we went to Bishop, when we went and played downstate, it was like, oh, we want to beat those Catholics from up north. They're doing this, that, or the other. They're private school this, private school that. So there's a little bit of that grudge that you want to be the ones to knock that team off.
Yeah.
So is that grudge going to be enough to propel James Monroe? Who knows? But I know that that's something that sort of hangs in the back of their mind a little bit.
Yeah. Again, I look for Wheeling Central to be playing on the island again. They're actually going to get a home game, the last
home-ish.
Their last game of the year, I think.
Yeah, home-ish.
Staying in Wheeling. So staying in West Virginia, moving to Triple-A, we have Parkersburg South versus Hurricane. So again, we did a little more research before the show. Common opponents. Both are 3-0 against common opponents.
And
all
they both
3 blowouts. So it's
big wins. Yeah.
It's real hard to tell. And
Now,
even
Parkersburg South had the bigger win margin. Like all 3 of their common opponents were blowouts.
Yeah.
But Parkersburg South definitely had the larger win margin. One was like 68 to something, and one was 78 to something.
Yeah.
Hurricane, kept theirs more in the 40s. Which a little more merciful, maybe. But hardest, 3-0 over common opponents. Hurricane comes into the year. They have at this point in the year, they have 560 points for and 150 points against. Whereas Parkersburg South has sort of given up a little bit more points, weirdly enough. Probably because, they've been up so big early. They put the subs in. But Parkersburg South has 625 points for, which is insane.
Man.
And 241 points against.
Almost 60 points a game for one team. Almost 50 points a game for another team. So
it's gonna be a shootout.
They're scoring a bunch of points. Parkersburg South's at home. I got to see them play. We got to go down there and watch them. They're a good football team.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be playing on the island too.
I think they're going to be as well.
So we're going to have 2 local teams. We're going to have Wheeling Central, I believe, and Parkersburg South playing on the island for championship. That's great to see.
If I had to pick points wise, I'd probably pick Parkersburg maybe by 2 touchdowns. I just think Parkersburg's really good.
Yeah. I think
they're really good.
They're really good. So I know Martinsburg's in the other one against I believe Huntington. That's going to be a good matchup, and then they're going to go on the island and crown a state champion. I know Williamstown is in the other bracket. They're going to play Doddridge, who just knocked off Cameron.
And then I think we'll have to do a little bit more research once the Super 6 comes up on talking about that AA matchup too, because I know we haven't talked about AA too much this year, so maybe we'll have to do a little bit of research on those teams, sort of our Super 6 preview coming up.
Especially since OVAthletics.com is a silver sponsor this year for the Super 6. Tom and I enjoy the event so much. This is one of our things. Giving back to the High Valley, giving back to the community. We thought, what better way than to be a sponsor for the Super 6? A great event, what they do for the kids, and just to be a part of that for us was special.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. And you know who else gives back to the community?
High Valley Nutrition gives back.
There we go. So let's see,
Zach. They give back with their knowledge. Okay, so their knowledge of their product, it's great. They give back to the High Valley with a 20% discount. All you got to do is mention OVA.
OVA, right there.
At St. Clairsville, at Steubenville, on the online store, just OVA, you're going to get 20% off. They also give back to the community by giving to us, being one of our partners, and then us being able to support the Super 6. So it's just money that's coming from a High Valley to a High Valley to a High Valley.
And more time and money that we can spend talking about kids in the Valley.
Yeah.
And, giving more time to talk about. I know for a fact that until we started talking high school volleyball here, I bet that volleyball was nothing but a little runner on the sports column.
Yeah.
Unless there was no other football going on. They're taking a back seat. We're having time to talk about these teams that aren't normally talked about.
Yeah.
And that's huge. It's a huge thing for a parent to be able to go and go, hey, they might have been talked about in the paper, but these guys over here are talking about it.
Yeah, and we need your help with that stuff. It's basketball season. There's games every day. It's hard for us.
Swim meets twice a week.
Hockey games and wrestling matches and all this stuff going on. There's only a couple of us. We can't keep up with everything. We're going to try our hardest, but we can't keep up with everything. So help us out. You can comment here on the YouTube videos. You can go to our message board at OVAthletics.com. There's tabs for wrestling and basketball. Go on there. Tell us what's going on with your schools. Tell us what's going on with your kids. Tell us what's kids at your school. Just tell us what's going on. So we can inform everybody. So we can get your kid noticed and get your kids noticed and get it out there. So help us at High Valley. Get on the message boards. Get on the YouTube videos, comments, messages. Help us out with all the sports locally.